Myth and reality intermingle together and start a long and arduous journey from the frozen heights of the Himalayas to the vast watery freedom of the Bay of Bengal. Ganga, the river that bears witness to many civilizations, cultures, human triumphs and tragedies, imbibes the very spirit of India, a confluence of many influences, yet maintaining her unique identity. This unique identity of India, its lifeline and its pride is under threat. Unbridled human greed and interference with nature is affecting the natural flow of the Ganges, threatening its biodiversity and the livelihood of many who have historically drawn sustenance from it. An unprecedented expedition is underway, highlighting this threat. A team of international specialists will travel the entire 2,500 kilometers of the Ganga, from its source at the Gangotri glaciers to the Bay of Bengal. Supported by Kuoni, the leading leisure and destination management company, boat manufacturer AB Inflatables, and environmental organizations Green Cross International and WWF, the expedition will draw attention to the threats in and around the river and highlight sustainable solutions.
This expedition is going to highlight the environmental threats not only to the Ganges, it is a metaphor for the whole world. It will also highlight the fact that our resources are under threat, and it is only through sharing that we can survive in this world.
Kuoni, which supports culturally rich and sustainable tourism, also sees this expedition as a way to promote the new travel culture. Andy Lehman, a veteran of many river expeditions around the globe, fell in love with the Ganga a year back, and the idea of an expedition was born.
All we have to do is stay as a group, be a professional group, and work very professionally.
12 members, 6 different nationalities start trekking up together from Gangotri to Gomukh. With wildlife for company and the breathtaking beauty of the Himalayas to remind them of their mission, the team makes good time. As the altitude rises, they experience another kind of breathlessness.
Yeah, we are on the way up. We are 4,000 meters now, coming up, and the source is about 1.5–2 hours away. We all have a little bit effect of the height, headaches, slightly headaches, getting used to it. Now we're going up to 4,400.
But the vision of Gomukh, the giant ice cave, shaped like a cow's mouth, revives the tired travelers. This is where the bubbling Bhagirathi, one of the main tributaries of the Ganga, emerges out of the Gangotri glacier. A revered place for many, it inspires the team to pay their tribute by taking an icy dip in the freezing waters. The bottle will stay with them throughout the journey and finally emptied in the Bay of Bengal. It's tough to reach the spot and hard to leave it behind. But the team must move on. The once spectacular descent of the Bhagirathi from Gangotri to Devprayag has now been tamed by the massive Tehri Dam. At places, the unrestrained bubbling stream appears subdued like a placid lake. This is where the Alaknanda, the sister tributary, meets Bhagirathi, and they both start moving towards the plains as the holy Ganga. The team can't wait to hit the waters. The rapids appear with great regularity, reminding the riders of the sheer power of this river. Ganga can be exhilarating and adventurous one moment, calm and serene the next. It has the spirit to nurture and the capacity to destroy. After 2 days of a very bumpy 70-kilometer watery ride, they arrive in Rishikesh, the last destination of the river in the mountains. For many believers in India, this is an important pilgrimage site. For the team, this is an exciting moment. From this point onwards, they will use their own boats. The 3 aluminium hull inflatable boats have been custom-made by AB Inflatables, built to withstand the challenges of an expedition. Soon the boats are ready with the crew, the expedition members and the media joining the journey for short distances. The journey begins. But the excitement soon turns into shock. At the Haridwar barrage, a substantial amount of water flow went to the irrigation channels. What was left was not enough to navigate. Besides, there was no way to cross the barrage gates. There was nothing left to do but to lift the boats and transfer them over to the other side. But once across the barrage, there's more dragging and pulling required. The boats need at least knee-deep water to sail. The tired team sets out once again, only to run into another dam soon. And then yet another. The only payoff of the entire exercise of lifting, shifting, pulling and pushing was to be greeted by the warmth of the people and the curiosity of the youngsters. A bonded but a very tired team arrives at the camping site. The day's journey and forced stoppages reminding them of the expedition's mission, highlighting the environmental threats to the Ganga.
The water was clean, the sun on the boats. There were a few moments you really see that the river has almost no water because a lot of water is diverted by barrages. We saw it, we experienced, we had a lot of pushing and pulling and get over sandbanks, but everybody was on it, so it was still a good experience, doing this together.
Not much water. Pushing, pulling, just like the engine up and down 600 times. And the crew always jump out, make the boat light, push. It's very little water. This river, this Ganges river, is suffering a lot on water. It's just not even with our boats. Every time it has to be another boat. So for traffic, for bigger boats, it's
The team gets ready for their much-needed nourishment and rest, but the thoughts of the sad state of this iconic river haunts them.
It's always a gamble.
But the spirits revive when they sight their first dolphins. Freshwater dolphins are a good sign. It is said that if you sight a dolphin, the water is safe to drink. Since dolphins are mammals, they cannot survive in polluted waters. The Ganga Dolphin Program, launched by WWF in 1998, has been instrumental in preserving their habitat and thereby the river.
I'm working on this Ganges River for last 20-25 years. My first stress was to make people aware about the biodiversity around them and the importance of the biodiversity.
Dr. Sandeepan and his team informs the international journalists in the expedition that the dolphin population is slowly going up in this part of the river, as he has sighted many new cubs recently. It is perhaps understandable that development cannot be stopped, but sustainable measures for conservation must be adopted. Not just to preserve the beauty of nature, but to hold back its destructive fury too. As the team approaches Kanpur, yet another WWF effort welcomes them. The Kanpur leather industry is one of the major polluters of the Ganga. WWF is experimenting with a new clean technology, anoxic bioremediation, to improve the water quality at its pilot project in Kanpur. The results are encouraging. The navigation improves dramatically as the expedition gets close to its halfway mark. With the full river and the current in their favor, they cruise at a comfortable pace. They arrive on the ghats of Varanasi. A pilgrimage for some, a historical bonanza for others. Also known as Banaras, it is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world. You can shop for anything, from a matchstick to a lasting spiritual awakening. After the sights and sounds of Banaras and much needed rest, they get ready for the next half of the journey. After Uttaranchal and Uttar Pradesh, the expedition enters its third Indian state, Bihar. Eastern UP and Bihar, known as the Indo-Gangetic Plains, have seen many wars, as many rulers through history eyed its fertile lands. In the wake of new rulers came new cultures and philosophies, making the hinterlands of the Ganga a traditional seat of learning.
We are traveling in one of the most populated areas in India, and on the river hardly anybody. We've seen boats, but bird life again and lots of river dolphins. So we are really enjoying the navigation here.
Deep water, no river traffic, makes navigation a dream. At Simariya Ghat, a local fair is on. Holy dips in the Ganga are said to purify the soul for its journey into the next world. The international team got a flavor of history, culture, and religious rituals packed in this traditional fair. People thronged them, curious to know what they were all about, helpful, welcoming and warm. This expedition mirrors the new travel philosophy, which Kuoni, one of the main sponsors of the expedition, promotes. Sustainable tourism that provides access to different people, discovering new cultures and situations, doing something that one has always dreamt of doing, or learning something new. Throughout the expedition, the team stayed close to the people, eating at local eateries, sleeping in temples and people's homes.
This is an area where we travel now, which they had a lot of safety issues for the expedition. What you do, you need army protection, etc., etc. And look at the people, how friendly they are, how they welcome us everywhere. We have not had one single problem. It's a pleasure to navigate. It's green, it's huge. Sometimes the river is 5-6 kilometers wide with lots of islands.
The end of the journey was now closer than the beginning. The team worked as a perfect unit. The waters were a dream to navigate, and there was no more getting down and pushing the boats. The daily grind of loading and unloading the boats is part of any river expedition. There are tents to pitch and a fire to start before the team can have its much-needed tea or coffee.
So, now we have to make an end.
After weeks together, routines were set and people realized how little they need to be happy. Jharkhand is behind them, and what beckons ahead is the last state, West Bengal. Leo, the engine in charge, does his efficient magic of getting the engines ready. My Climate, a climate protection partnership, supported the expedition in offsetting its carbon emissions.
Okay, is there anything else?
The river traffic started increasing as the team entered West Bengal, but navigation was still easy. Kolkata is an important port of the historically major trade route that is the Ganga, and thus became a preferred destination for many colonists during the 18th century. Some of the traffic jams reminded people of typical Indian roads. The other traffic was more interactive. The famous Howrah Bridge announced that the team has arrived in Kolkata. Calcutta, as it was pronounced by the British, was the capital of India till 1912. traveling along the Ganga is like passing through a corridor of history and culture. This is the team's final day on the expedition. October 16th. After almost a month of being with the river, they are finally at the last step of their journey. And finally, the Bay of Bengal, a vast stretch of water. A moment of triumph, yet very humbling. This river, which represents the very spirit of India, a confluence of many influences, yet maintaining its unique identity, had been a companion for over a month. They feel a sense of responsibility towards the river, which at times is fighting a losing battle against pollution and human activity threatening to destroy its biodiversity. This majestic river, revered and worshipped by people, an inspiration for philosophy and poetry, is a victim of defilement and pollution by the very people who find sustenance from it. Timely efforts like those of WWF and Green Cross and sustainable development models like the one Kuoni is promoting will go a long way in keeping this wonderful symbol of Indianness continuing its life-giving journey.
We are here in front of Sagar Island in the Gulf of Bengal, Indian Ocean. And thank you very much, all of you. Great crew. It's been a long trip, 4 weeks on the road, and it was not always easy. Here we have the water. This water we brought all the way from the source. Kalmuk, 4,000 meters high. It's still drinkable, I guess. We put it now in the ocean. This water gave us luck and will keep us going. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Good luck, guys.
Hallelujah.
All right. Anxious. I don't think you guys want to go in the water. Yeah. Take your mobiles out, because I just wanted to throw him out and then.
Rolling.